Let's get started. Start with listening, and then learn new words and practice them in sentences.
How do you describe your daily routine in English? It's a simple question, but for those learning the language, it's an important skill to master. Understanding and sharing our daily routines helps us connect with others and navigate our daily lives. In this video, we'll explore the language you need to talk about your day-to-day activities. We'll delve into the words and phrases that describe the ordinary yet essential parts of life. From the moment you open your eyes and greet the morning, to heading off to work or school, to enjoying your meals, and finally unwinding in the evening, we'll cover it all. We'll also look at how to ask questions about someone else's routine. These are the conversations that fill our days and build our relationships. So let's get started. By the end of this video, you will be able to confidently discuss your daily routine in English. Let's start from the moment you open your eyes in the morning. Each day is a new beginning, starting with the moment you wake up. As your eyelids flutter open, you find yourself in the heart of your morning routine. Now let's delve into the English terms and phrases that describe this part of the day. First, you wake up. The phrase wake up is quite simple, isn't it? You can say, I wake up at 7 o'clock every morning, or ask someone, what time do you usually wake up? It's a straightforward way to share or inquire about the start of the day. Next, you get out of bed and get ready for the day. Getting ready is a broad term that covers everything from brushing your teeth and washing your face to getting dressed. You might say, I spend about 30 minutes getting ready in the morning, or ask, do you prefer to shower in the morning or at night? Breakfast is an essential part of the morning routine for many people. Whether you're whipping up a gourmet meal or grabbing a quick bite, you can say, I usually have toast and coffee for breakfast, or ask, what's your favorite breakfast food? And finally, you leave the house to start your day. You might be heading to work, school, or maybe a morning workout. You can express this by saying, I leave the house at 8:30 to catch the bus, or ask another person, how do you commute to work? These phrases and questions are the building blocks to discussing your morning routine in English. Remember, practice makes perfect. So try using these expressions in your daily conversations. Speak about your morning, ask others about theirs, and listen to how they respond. Now that we've talked about morning routines, it's time to move on to the next part of the day. Scene script. How do you spend your afternoons? As we transition from morning to afternoon, the activities we engage in vary greatly. Perhaps you're at work or school, continuing your day's tasks, or maybe you're enjoying a leisurely lunch. Let's explore some key vocabulary and phrases related to these afternoon activities. Consider the phrase, I'm at work. This statement is simple, yet it clearly communicates your current activity. You could also say, I'm working on a project if you'd like to be more specific. For students, the phrase, I'm at school or I'm studying for a test would be more appropriate. How about lunch? We all need to refuel our bodies during the day. You might say, I'm eating lunch, or if you're with someone, we're having lunch. If you're preparing your own meal, you could say, I'm making lunch. Let's not forget about those all-important tasks we need to complete. You might say, I'm running errands, which could include going to the bank, shopping for groceries, or picking up dry cleaning. Or perhaps you're doing chores at home, like cleaning or gardening. Think about how these phrases can be transformed into questions. If you're curious about someone's afternoon activities, you could ask, are you at work today? Or, what are you studying at school? At lunchtime, you might ask, what are you having for lunch? Or did you make your lunch? And when it comes to tasks, you could ask, what errands are you running? Or what chores do you need to do? By incorporating these phrases and questions into your daily conversations, you can confidently talk about your afternoon routine and show interest in others' activities. Remember, practice makes perfect. So don't hesitate to use these phrases as often as you can. The more you use them, the more natural they will feel. With our afternoon routines covered, let's move on to the evening. What do you usually do in the evenings? That's the question we're going to focus on now. The evening is a time when we wind down from the day and prepare for the night. So, let's dive into some vocabulary and phrases that describe common evening activities. After a long day at work or school, most of us return home. That's a straightforward phrase, but it's quite common and useful. Once we're home, we might say, I'm going to unwind or relax for a bit. These words express the idea of letting go of stress and settling into a more comfortable state. Now it's time to prepare dinner. This phrase is a bit more complex, but it's a natural part of many people's evening routine. After dinner, we might clean up, which means to tidy the kitchen or dining area. And after that, it's time to do the dishes. This phrase is a handy way to talk about washing up after a meal, but evenings aren't just about chores and responsibilities. They're also a time for leisure activities. You might watch TV, read a book, play a game, or chat with friends. These phrases are all simple, yet they cover a wide range of common evening activities. As the night draws in, we start to get ready for bed. This phrase can include actions like brushing your teeth, changing into pajamas, or setting an alarm for the next morning. And finally, when we're all set, we go to bed. This phrase simply means to lie down and sleep. So let's put those phrases into a few sentences. After returning home from work, I like to unwind and prepare dinner. Then I clean up and do the dishes. Later, I might watch TV or read a book. Before I go to bed, I get ready for bed. Now that we've covered the whole day, let's summarize what we've learned. Let's recap what we've covered today. We journeyed through our daily routine, starting with the break of dawn and ending with the tranquil night. We've learned how to describe our morning activities, from the moment we wake up to leaving for work or school. We've navigated through the afternoon, discussing meals and the various tasks we undertake. As the day winds down, we've explored how to talk about our evening routines, including dinner, relaxation, and finally, heading to bed. Now let's put this newfound knowledge to the test. Try to describe your daily routine using the phrases and vocabulary we've learned. Don't hesitate to rewind and review any part of the video if you need a refresher. Remember, practice makes perfect. With practice, you'll be able to confidently discuss your daily routine in English. Keep practicing and you'll become more fluent in no time.
Let's learn new words and practice English at level A2. Routine. Routine, a sequence of actions regularly followed, a fixed program. Example, I have a morning routine that I follow every day. Wake up. Wake up to stop sleeping. Example, I wake up at 7 a.m. every morning. Breakfast. Breakfast, the first meal of the day, usually eaten in the morning. Example, I have toast and coffee for breakfast. Work. Work activity involving mental or physical effort done in order to achieve a purpose or result. Example, I go to work at 9 a.m. Lunch. Lunch, a meal eaten in the middle of the day. Example, I usually have a sandwich for lunch. Exercise. Exercise, activity requiring physical effort, carried out to sustain or improve health and fitness. Example, I go to the gym to exercise in the evening. Study. Study, the devotion of time and attention to acquiring knowledge on an academic subject, especially by means of books. Example, I study English for 1 hour every evening.